Imagine a truck so powerful, so rugged, and so unapologetically massive that it looks less like a vehicle and more like a rolling fortress. The 2026 Mercedes Zetros 6x6 isn't just a truck, it's a machine designed to conquer deserts, mountains, and frozen tundras without breaking a sweat. This is the kind of vehicle that makes even the toughest off-roaders look like toys. But here's the twist. Despite its military-grade toughness, the Zetros now comes with unexpected luxury. So the question is, does it really deliver the best of both worlds? Let's find out. Welcome back to IK Car Reviews, the channel where we go deep into the most exciting vehicles shaping the future of driving. Today, we're taking a closer look at one of the boldest machines Mercedes-Benz has ever put on the road, the all-new 2026 Mercedes Zetros 6x6. The Zetros name has long been associated with military use, heavy-duty industries, and expedition-grade toughness. It's the kind of truck you'd expect to see crossing deserts in the Middle East, delivering aid in remote regions of Africa, or hauling equipment in Siberian winters. But for 2026, Mercedes has taken this rugged legend and reimagined it for a wider audience, one that demands not just strength, but also comfort, technology, and prestige. That's what makes this launch so significant. Over the past few years, the US has seen a growing appetite for extreme overland vehicles and luxury off-roaders. Brands like Land Rover, Jeep, and even Rivian have been pushing the boundaries of adventure-ready SUVs. But the Zetros 6x6 plays in an entirely different league. It's not just about camping trips or off-road weekends. It's about pushing into environments where most vehicles can't even begin to go. And with prices starting around $220,000 and climbing past $350,000 depending on configuration, the Zetros isn't aimed at the average buyer. It's built for industries, governments, and a handful of private owners who want the ultimate machine. So the big question is, what exactly makes this new Zetros so special, and is it worth the massive price tag? That's what we're about to break down. Let's start with the design, because one look at the Zetros and you know this isn't your typical truck. It stands tall with an upright cab, a long hood, and that commanding six-wheel stance. The 2026 refresh gives it modern Mercedes DNA, including updated LED lighting, aerodynamic refinements, and reinforced body panels. You'll notice steel bumpers, integrated winches, and thick skid plates as standard. But for those who want to go even further, Mercedes offers expedition packages that add roof racks, auxiliary lights, and even modular camper shells, turning the Zetros into a rolling off-grid home. Step inside and you get a surprising contrast. This cabin is not Spartan or bare bones like old military trucks. Mercedes has blended durability with premium luxury. Leather seating, brushed aluminum trim, and ergonomic controls create an interior that feels upscale yet functional. The seating layout is flexible, with 3 across in the front and optional configurations in the rear. For long trips, there are clever storage solutions, expedition flooring, and climate-controlled seats. Even advanced soundproofing is available, so while you're driving through extreme terrain, the cabin stays quiet and comfortable. Now let's talk performance. Under the hood, the Zetros 6x6 comes with several diesel options, but the flagship is a 12.8-liter inline-six turbo diesel delivering over 500 horsepower and an astonishing 2,300 newton-meters of torque. That's about 1,700 pound-feet for US drivers. This power is paired with a 16-speed automated transmission and Mercedes' legendary all-wheel drive system. With low-range gearing and power delivered across all 6 wheels, this truck climbs inclines, powers through sand dunes, and crosses rivers with confidence. On highways, it remains surprisingly composed for its size. Technology is another big leap forward. A large central infotainment display runs Mercedes' MBUX system with navigation, wireless smartphone connectivity, and even topographical mapping for off-road use. Off-road tech includes adjustable suspension modes, tire pressure monitoring with onboard inflation and deflation, and multiple cameras that provide a 360-degree view. essential for maneuvering such a massive machine in tricky terrain. Off-road tech includes adjustable suspension modes and optional features like satellite communications and Wi-Fi hotspots turn the Zetros into a mobile command center. Safety hasn't been overlooked either. The 2026 Zetros is built on a reinforced steel chassis with advanced crumple zones. Standard systems include stability control, adaptive braking, multiple airbags, and traction management. Higher trims add lane departure warning, adaptive cruise control, and blind spot monitoring. For a truck of this size, these technologies are critical, and they bring peace of mind when you're far from civilization. But here's where it gets interesting. While it sounds unstoppable, the Zetros does have trade-offs. Fuel economy averages between 7 and 10 miles per gallon depending on load and terrain. Insurance and upkeep are steep. And yes, it's enormous, which means maneuvering in tight US cities will feel more like parking a small building than a truck. Still, Mercedes is betting that its unique mix of toughness and luxury will attract adventurers and professionals alike. And in a moment, we'll reveal just how far this beast can go when put to the test. And here's the moment everyone's been waiting for: real-world capability. We've seen trucks that claim to be tough, but the Zetros 6x6 truly delivers. In off-road testing, it climbs steep, rocky trails without breaking traction, powers through deep sand that would bog down other vehicles, and handles river crossings with water nearly reaching its headlights. What's most surprising is how composed it feels while doing all this. Thanks to its advanced suspension and drivetrain, the Zetros doesn't just crawl over obstacles, it dominates them. It's less about struggling through terrain and more about confidently marching forward no matter what's in front of it. And yet, step back inside the cabin and you could almost forget you're in an expedition-grade truck. The noise insulation, comfort features, and premium materials create a luxury experience that feels closer to an S-Class SUV than a military-grade hauler. That's the real turning point here. The Zetros isn't just brute force, it's brute force refined. Of course, this kind of capability comes at a price, literally and figuratively. Fuel efficiency is punishing, and the sticker price means it's out of reach for most buyers. But for the few who can afford it, the Zetros isn't just a truck. It's freedom on 6 wheels with the power to go where almost no one else can. So the big question becomes, is that freedom worth the cost? Well, that depends on what you value most.
So, where does that leave us with the 2026 Mercedes Zetros 6x6? After everything we've seen, one thing is clear. This is not a truck for the average driver. It's not practical for daily errands, and it certainly won't win awards for efficiency. But that was never its mission. The Zetros exists to dominate environments that ordinary vehicles can't even enter, and in that mission, it succeeds spectacularly. The positives are undeniable. Off-road performance is unmatched. The diesel engines deliver torque levels most trucks only dream about. The cabin strikes a balance between toughness and luxury. And with customization options ranging from expedition kits to camper shells, it can be tailored into anything from a mobile fortress to an off-grid adventure home. The drawbacks, however, are just as real. Starting at $220,000 and climbing far beyond $350,000, it's priced for governments, industries, and elite buyers. Fuel consumption is punishing, and maneuverability in urban environments is a challenge. Insurance and upkeep will also be significant. So, who should buy it? If you're an overland adventurer, a professional operating in extreme environments, or simply a collector looking for the ultimate statement piece, the Zetros delivers. But if you just want a rugged daily driver, there are far more practical and affordable choices out there. In the US market, where luxury off-road builds are booming, the Zetros stands out as more than just a vehicle. It's a glimpse of how automakers can merge military-grade toughness with high-end comfort. It may never be mainstream, but its influence will be felt in the next generation of overland SUVs and trucks. So here's my final question to you. Is the 2026 Mercedes Zetros 6x6 an overpriced toy or the ultimate overland investment? Drop your answer in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe to IK Car Reviews for more deep dives into the world's most exciting vehicles. And seriously, if you had the keys, where's the first place you take this unstoppable machine?